Hey guys, on a real day back at you guys again, and I'm here to make a video on the components of the TEAS exam. Like I mentioned in my last video, I took my TEAS exam 2 days ago. I passed, thank God, and I'm here to just discuss like what you can expect on the exam. So there are 4 components of the exam. You have reading, mathematics, science, and English and language. Um, the the reading is mainly reading a passage that's about 4 or 5 short paragraphs and answering questions pertaining to the passage. They ask a lot of questions about inferencing or what is the next logical thing to do, or what's the main idea, supporting detail, topic or theme. Yeah, those are the main components of the reading. I actually wanted to tell you guys like the actual breakdown of each one because I have it from my results, but I don't know where it is right now. The math, I have a couple of things written down. Also, you have your numbers and operations, long division, percentage, like what's 20% of 100, or 20% of what number is 450. Like those are just numbers I'm thinking out of my head too. Decimal placement, I haven't written down, but I didn't have a lot of decimal placement on my exam. There's a lot of multiplication of decimals. Polynomials. I had one question that was like 7x minus x plus 5, now be in parentheses, minus like 7x squared. They're always x squared, like a number x squared, minus or plus x, plus or minus a constant, which is like just a number on its own. Now be in parentheses, minus another number like 4x squared plus or minus x plus or minus another constant. And that was really the only polynomial question that I had on my exam. I think when I was like taking a practice exam, they had factoring, but that didn't come up on my actual exam. Measurements is a lot of the metric system. Well, actually, it's not a lot, but you should make sure you study that in depth because they may just put only like 1 or 2 questions about the metric system on there, but you never know which question they may try to throw at you. So I made sure I studied that a lot because that's like an easy 2 points because all you got to do is, well, I don't know if it's 2 points. I don't know what's the grading system for this exam. I couldn't find that anywhere, which is weird. I don't know how many points you get for answering one question. I'm guessing it's 1 point per question or so. I really don't know. But no, because you get more than 100 questions. So, I don't know. But, like I said, knowing the metric system, those are easy points that you don't want to miss out on. PEMDAS is definitely on there, which is like the order of operations. I know people have different, what is it called? I don't know. I forgot. They have different acronyms for it, for orders of operations. Which, PEMDAS is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Yeah, the math was pretty easy. I actually did the best on the mathematics section. Next is the science. You have your life science, your earth science, your I wish I had the book. I don't want to stop the video because I don't have any editing system on my laptop. You have your life science, your anatomy and physiology, a little bit of physics. Like they have a lot of study your kinetic energy and your potential energy. They always put a question like that on the exam. I've had it in every practice exam I took, and I had the McGraw-Hill 5 TEAS practice test, whatever. And kinetic energy and potential energy was in every single one, and it also came up on my exam. So make sure you study that. It may only be 1 or 2 questions, but it will definitely be there. You need to know a lot about DNA and RNA, genetics. You need to learn a lot about, well, not learn or know, whatever. A lot about the Punnett square, which is when you're when you're like estimating what child could come out with a recessive or dominant trait or like a specific disease or something. I don't really know how to explain it. I'm sorry. But it's the Punnett square. That's exactly what it's called. The Punnett square chart. Make sure you know how to use that. Photosynthesis and cellular respiration was definitely on there. Make sure you know both of those back and forth. Make sure you know what type of bonds are used to hold together DNA codons, and I don't know if it's the same thing, DNA codons and just DNA. But I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. But I believe it's hydrogen bonds. I don't know if that's what I put on my test. I don't know if I got it right or wrong. But I believe it's hydrogen bonds hold together the codons in DNA. I'm saying it right, codons. Like the A goes to T, the G goes to C, RNA, the A goes to U. Yeah, make sure you know that. Physical and chemical properties of water. Yes, make sure you know that. Make sure you know the steps of the scientific method like the back of your hand, because they love to throw questions about, well, is this a part of which step of the scientific process or whatever. Make sure you know the order in which it goes. Make sure you know, I don't have this written down, but make sure you know what's it called? You have your domain, your kingdom, your phylum, I don't know how to pronounce it, class, order, genus, and the species. I hope I said it all. Make sure you know that. What I did to learn that was I turned it into an acronym. No, that's G. Excuse my language, but actually I don't care. This is my channel. I curse if I want to. Dam King place cat order for general shrimp. It helps me remember it. The D goes with domain and so forth and so on. It really does help. Make sure you know I should have said this for math, but make sure you know your Roman numerals. Make sure you know your Roman numerals, not just 1 to 10. You need to know what 1,000 stands for. You need to know what 500 stands for. You need to have another acronym for that. Also, it's called, I do it from 1,000 up to 1. My daughter can't let X be in. Like, I don't know, but it stuck with me. Like M is 1,000, which is, what is that? It's M milli, I guess. Yeah. D is deci, I believe. That's 500. C is 100 centi. L, I don't know what L is. But I know that. Excuse me. L is 100, I believe. No, I think I said that already. L is 50. Yes. L is 50. But yeah, you guys can learn that on your own. But make sure you know your Roman numerals. And how it works when they're trying to interpret a number, because sometimes they can use the letters, but use the letters, but you can add, subtract to make another number. So moving on. Oh, please know redox for science. I got a question on that, and I did not study that at all. I have it written down, and I wrote this before I took my test from watching other people's YouTube videos. So I don't know why I didn't study that, but I had one question on it, but it's fine. vaporization, condensation, reactions. Yes, you have to balance reactions on that exam. I'm very glad that I remembered that from high school because I did not study that. But I always just, it was easy to learn when I learned it at high school, so it kind of just always stuck with me. You just make sure that whatever you have on one side, you have on the other. So, know the difference between ionic and covalent bonds. I didn't find a question about that, but I feel like that would help you with other questions. And moving on to English and language. Oh, my leg is hurting. Sorry if I'm moving my laptop. I gotta stack those some pillows. And I know this is a long video, but if you don't want to watch it, keep it moving. But if you do, then great. Okay. For English language, what that mean? Sorry, kind of a mean person a little bit, but no, I'm not. I'm nice. Okay, off topic. Okay, so English, I have punctuation, grammar, spelling, commas, hyphen, parentheses. You need to know what that is. Spelling rules, plural, possessive, subject-verb agreement. You need to know what a noun, an adverb, adjective, pronoun is. You need to know what a simple sentence is. You need to know what a clause is. You need to be able to identify a simple sentence and identify subject-verb agreement. The English and language is actually, it's easy, but for someone who's so, I don't want to say I'm so advanced in my education, but I'm at the college level. I probably learned this in elementary school. So I had to reteach myself. Even though, you know, being born here in America, you would think that that's a common, like, you know, subject-verb agreement is common for people. But, you know, you pick up your own language. The way you talk, for the most part, is how you write. So, yeah, people, you know, they can not forget, but they just don't notice when something is incorrect as far as grammar goes. Like when I was studying for this exam, I learned that a S behind a verb makes it singular. Whole time, I'm like, I know I'm not crazy. So when you put an S behind something, it's plural, but not concerning verbs and sentence formation. So, you know, you learn new things, even things that you have already learned before. So that's basically it. I've kept you guys long enough, and I hope that what I've mentioned will be of some help to someone. I want you guys to interact with me. I want to know who's taking the exam, what school you're trying to apply to. I think I mentioned what schools I'm applying to already. I have an information session on June 18th for Monroe College with a nursing program. So I have majority of my application together. The last thing I need to get together are my recommendation letters. And yeah, I'm excited. Okay, I'm gonna keep you guys long enough. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in my next video.